Hello, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. Where I guess we're just like trucking along in the valley, having a good time with everyone. I guess not everyone, but you know what I mean. It's we got rid of Luke and Kota last episode, I think. Was that last episode? So it's good, you know. We got the snaky boy. And, yeah. Argos, meanwhile, seems to be having similar troubles ahead of you. He sways and grunts, pants and groans, putting all of his focus into pressing onward. All around the valley, the twisting and winding paths of the labyrinth, vast and endless, stretched to the horizon, the stones, the dust, the very earth itself soaked in malice. No rivers could flush away the horrors hidden in the palette in this place, where no other evil, courted evils, self-incurred, will bring the light the perfect agony of self-inflicted pain. At least your destination rises before you. The ground grows steeper, and your companions on this little jaunt grow more sluggish. You end up passing Argos, and having to wait as he struggles up the hill after you. The three of you pause and look down into the wide and deep pit in the earth. Indeed, as the snake said, there is something at the bottom. A wooden construct in the shape of a cow will trundle to and fro, pacing the diameter of this pit's floor. It twitches in agitation, and they sound like Asterion's mooing, and depended and distorted into a hellish bellow, which chills the blood in your veins, fills the air. I love this pit, you know. That's the effigy. Frightful indeed, is it not? But peace, master. None but its hated prey have anything to fear from it. Okay. He turns his head to look at Asteria, whose shaking legs have collapsed underneath him. The bull has fallen to his knees at the pit's edge. The heifer is ripe and ready for the sacrifice. And once he's down there with it, you'll give me the elixir of yours. It's not exactly that I don't believe you, but like I said earlier, you've presented yourself as quite the crafty, deceptive snake. Deceitful, is that what that said? Deceitful, yes. My lord, you wound me to my core. Has there been any occasion, any moment in our dealings, when I've spoken a single word of falsehood to you? A lie of omission is still a lie, Argos. At the very least, you've been fully creative with the truth. Awfully creative. Truth cannot be separated from belief, nor belief from truth. If you would believe the words of your humble servant, sire, then believe this. It is the truth I speak, and nothing but. But if you need evidence to provide a foundation upon which to set your belief, then here it is. As soon as you kick the bull, I'll be happy to hand it over. Now it's your turn to look over to the Minotaur. He stares down to the pit as it yawns before him. A deep and hungry chasm waiting to swallow him up. Deep into the darkness peering. What does the Minotaur see? What shards of thoughts gather in Asterion's mind? What makes make him hide his face in his hands and turn away from the abyss that awaits him? Great heaving sobs wreck the bull's frame as he teeters upon the edge of the pit. Even so, a few words of distinguishable through all the blubbering. Why? It's not funny anymore. So why? What have I done to make you hate me so? Did I pick crocus? You, wanted to give mother. Did I squeeze your hand too hard when we walked together? Whatever it is, I'm sorry. So please, I beg, stop this. You had already made your decision. You look from the shuddering bull to the snake standing at your shoulder, grimace, hesitate. Is something the matter, my lord? Come on, do not balk at the last. Show me that... Would you be quiet, I'm thinking. The time for thinking has long passed, master. The hour has grown late. And I'm sure you'd be loath to figure out... to linger out here in the valley once night falls. Come, come! Once the sacrifice has been made, you can take your prize and return to your hotel. You're awfully eager to see me jump through your hoops, aren't you? Well, master, what man would not be eager to see the gods honored with just sacrifice? Now, let us begin. Surely, you've plenty to do up there in your hotel of yours. And once this elixir is in your possession, you'll have all the time you need to do it. He holds up the vial, giving it a gentle shake. His expression twists, and impatient, and every inch of his form trembles in anticipation. In his eyes, in an almost manic gleam, as he looks from you to the bull, to the pit, and then back again. Why are you... Again with these questions of yours. Do you plan to stand there, mulling over every single word until we both age to dust? Would be fun. I've told you what you must do. All that remains is for you to perform your role, master. What? Now I can't even ask you anything at all? What happened to wanting me to listen to all your terms? I rather think I made myself quite clear. Kick the ball into the pit, and the elixir is yours. He slithers closer to you, gritting and grinding his teeth. The tip of his tail smacks against the rocky ground behind him. Do you not realize what it is I'm trying to do for you? Do you think I sit out here dreaming up little games to play with you for lark? You have a job to do here in this realm, and it is my job to make sure you do it. Back off, Argos. He presses closer, his jaws nearly snapping right in your face as he spits all the venom his position as foreman will allow him. No more questions, no more games. If you want your prize, you will do as I say. You will do it. I said back off. Your arm lashes out, trying to swat the snake away from you. The back of your hand makes contact with something hard and round. Your strike knocks the vial out of Argos's grip. No! The snake cries out against the fate's whim in vain. The vial falls to the ground and shatters upon the stone. A steaming black liquid splays out, eagerly lapped up by the dust. Argos throws himself to the ground, scrambling to salvage a single drop, but it is no use. He looks up to you, black-stained sand falling from between his fingers. Dumbfounded, staring in disbelief. You... And then a spark of ire blooms into an inferno of rage. You! The snake lunges, his gleaming fangs bared. His hands twist into reaching claws, eager to wrap around your throat and tear at your eyes. You lift your arms to defend yourself, but he stops short, a shudder and convulses. It chokes out a sound between a hiss and whine. They be shaken. The shield of your position... Wait. The shield of your position as Master of the Labyrinth keeps the faithless foreman at bay. As he slinks away, all wailing and gnashing of teeth. Do you have any idea what you've done? An entire week of toil and hardship, and you've brought it all to ruin. Everything I've done, everything I've given up, it's all... He buries his ruined face into his hands, and the fingers which were ready to claw at you instead tear at his own scales. He huffs out again and again, breathless and gasping. He trembles and lashes his tail against the ground. Argos lets out a quiet laugh, weak and mirthless. What man alive, more miserable than I. More hated by the gods. All these curses, none but I brought down these piling curses upon myself. He settles on his coil, hugging and rocking himself. I am agony. Where am I going? Where on earth? Where does all this agony hurl me? Where is my voice? Winging, swept away on the dark tide. My destiny, my dark power. What a leap you've made. He pauses, as if waiting for an answer, and when he receives none, the snake wails and moaning for his follied plot. A moaning which is cut off as you move to loom over him, and the thunder of your wrath, ready to crash down upon his head. Are you ready to answer my questions now, you lying bastard? Argos remains limp as he grabs his shoulders in a crushing grip and pulls him up. Just what the hell are you trying to do here? What the hell was the point of dragging me out here? Do you have any idea what I've done for this place? All the toil and hardship I've gone through. No thanks to you. Your voice twists the words into spiteful mockery as you spit them right back into the snake's face. Fine then. No more questions. No more games. You want me to throw someone in that pit of yours? How about I kick you down there? Enough! The Minotaur's desperate cries of distress cut through the air. When you look over, you see him grasping his horns tight enough to rip them right off his head. He groans. His wild and unseeing eyes stare wide and unblinking. The agony! And let it alone! Oh, let it alone? Let it sleep with all its pain! He surges forward, and then pulls back. Slams his fists and forehead against the rocky ground, until the flesh splits, and red mixture with oily black stains the dust and stone. Curls over himself, holding his skull in a fierce grip, as though it might split at any moment, while he lows and sobs and heaves in utter desperation. You look at the snake in your grip. Argos is watching the bowl, his jaw working as he gulps and hisses. With a grunt, you shove the deceitful serpent back down. For a moment, the urge to kick the sniveling wretch tenses the muscles of your leg, but you ignore both it and the foreman. Asterion. No answer. You step closer to the trembling bull, calling out again. Asterion. Your hand reaches out to touch his shoulder, and he retches away from you. He scrambles away, back arches, and raised like a maddened beast. Yes. Yes. Every shaking breath shudders his entire form. His goring horns are lowered and pointed towards him, even though you both know that he doesn't have it in him to charge or strike at you. And even so, the shackles of the labyrinth hold him from daring to harm the master. In his eyes, his lucidity at last, lucidity and horrified awareness that is forced entirely upon you.
What are you doing? What game are you playing? Is it not enough to tear me open and scrape me hollow? Must you toy with me to the last? I thought it would be different. That it would be like the last master. Before him. I was ready for it. And I was ready for another master who would torment me. Who would torture me and delight in my torture. For those 80 years in the cold room, I thought about and thought about it, and thought.
He chokes upon the flood of his words.
But you... die. Why?
He clenches his eyes shut, grits his teeth until they threaten to shatter in his mouth, shakes with fury of the war between grief and outrage. Played out of his outrage played out on his face.
Why?
Every ounce of the Minotaur's being, the loneliness and suffering of 1,000 years of condemned to damnation, is put into the single bellowing cry. And then he collapses into himself. Okay. The merest cinder of a soul. Okay. Trapped within a rotting husk. I don't know. Did that mean something? I'm too dumb to know.
Why do you pull back instead of dealing the final blow?
Why would I want to get rid of someone as useful as you? Oh dear. I just couldn't trust what Argo said. I never wanted to take it this far. Well, it's not okay, so it's between these two. Okay. I mean, this is far more about Argos than the other Minotaur. So we're gonna keep the conversation on Argos, right? I just couldn't trust what Argos said. The Minotaur's one starry-eyed stare deep into you.
So that's your answer, is it?
A horse and breathless parody of a laugh gusts from him as the bull's expression twists.
Then be gone with you.
Excuse me? The Minotaur draws himself up, as tall and proud as a wretch like him can manage. He crosses his arms across his chest and stares down at you with all the contempt of a prince in captivity.
I said be gone with you. Go!
He jerks his hand, gesturing for you to get out of his sight, as though he were the master and you were the servant.
I'm tired, master. No, Josh. I'm tired of this farce. So go back to your hotel. You're welcome to it. I will remain here in the valley. I see now that it's where I belong. It's the only place I ever belonged.
I think you're forgetting something, Asterion. You pledged an oath to me, remember? The prisoner Asterion pledged loyalty and servitude to the labyrinth's master.
And I think you are forgetting the terms of that oath. The prince will carry the burden of servitude, but shall not suffer the labyrinth's wrath within the hotel's territory. The prisoner is shielded by the master's will. is made safe as long as his duty is fulfilled under the terms of that stature.
His lips twist upward, and there is neither happiness nor levity in his smile.
What do I have to fear of the labyrinth's wrath? I'd rather suffer 1,000 deaths at the hands of its monsters than spend one moment more under your thumb.
You look from the glaring bull to the cowering snake and back again, anger roiling within you once more. And this time, the black shard of obsidian, which was once your heart, remains hardened. Fine then. Stay out here, see if I care. You and that liar can play all the games you want together. I've got a hotel to run. And so you turn down your heels and stalk away, leaving both the Minotaur and the serpent to rot in the valley. You keep your eyes locked upon the distant hill and the blocky building which rises upon it to tower like a beacon of civilization in the wasteland. There's still so much to do. Okay, I think I'll end the part here, so I will see you around, everyone.